Okay, this is a quick video on looking at PhotoPills, the app that you can get from the App Store if you're on an Apple device, and the Play Store if you're on an Android device. And I'm demonstrating it on an Apple iPad, not a new one, but one that's about 4 or 5 years old. So it will run on an older iPad as well. So if we just get over to the PhotoPills app, which is there, the yellow. And all I'm going to just give you is just a quick overview on what the app basically is capable of. You've got your 3 sections at the top. My Stuff, where once you start planning things, they'll appear in there. You've got the main part of the app, which I'm just going to go through a few of these, which is the sort of meat and potatoes of the app. And then the academy is really the learning. So this is great for newbies to the app, so that you can learn how to use it, what its potential is, and also look at the articles and videos to help support it. So within here, essentially, it's those top 3 you got to look at. Forget about the others, about the t-shirts and the and things that they sell, and the glossary is quite good. You can rate the app, obviously, give feedback, but the top ones, the user guide, let's just look at that. But all 3 of those areas take you to the photopills.com website, which of course you can go to independently. And this is the PhotoPills user guide, which is free as a PDF you can download. You can read about it there. You can just click it on that yellow icon and download it as a PDF to read at your leisure. I've got that. And then we've got video tutorials. So there's lots and lots of videos online, of course, from the developers themselves, as well as independent YouTube videos, hundreds and hundreds of them, so there's plenty. But I would start with these official ones first. So for example, if it says how to plan star trails, you can click on that video and watch that one. If you want to do one about using the mechanics of PhotoPills, you can find that one as well. And then the how-to articles really is articles to support what the videos cover as well. So it depends on how you learn, whether you prefer a video tutorial or a written tutorial. So for example, what we're looking at today, Milky Way photography, if you wanted to have a read of that article, which is pretty definitive, you can read that. Okay. So those are the 3 there in the academy section. But if we go to the actual pills section, the bit that allows you to plan a photo opportunity well in advance in a given location, particularly if it's a location you've not been to, without doing a recce there specifically. So for example, if we look at the moon as a celestial body, that's today's date, but obviously you could change that. You could go to the calendar here and just see what, if you say went to the 23rd of April, that'll tell you exactly that you've got the moon coming up. You've got the galactic core visibility starts at that time, 1:47 in the morning, up until 3:30 in the morning. Moon rises such and such, and moon sets at such and such a time. So as far as planning is concerned, and you can sort of look at the phases of the moon just by dragging. The blue is the moon and the yellow is the sun. So you get an idea of where all the information's there, what's where and when. Okay, this is actually loaded with lots and lots of information, so it does take a little while to get to grips with it. And the same thing with the sun. Same principle, but this is just for the sun only. And what's really good with the sun one is that not just gives you the basic sunrise, sunset, but also the golden hour, when the golden hour begins on a particular day, and the blue hour, the nautical twilight, astronomical twilight hour. So this all affects, of course, our photography. But this one, the planner, is the one that's really the one that you've got to get to grips with and to learn how to use. And there's so much information here, it'll take a little while. That's why I took you first to the the learning mode or the training material that's available, because you do need to look at a lot of that. It's well beyond a short video like this to go through that. Now that's my location here now, and if I wanted to move that pin and say, well, what if I was on the top of that street there, and where would the sunrise be, where would the moonrise be, and so on. So you've got the blue lines which represent the moon, so moonrise, moonset, and then you've got yellow sunrise, sunset, and that's today's date. And the faint yellow line in the middle, the orange line, that's where the sun is currently in regards to today's date. And of course, if you change the places, change the days, that'll change, of course. You've got lots of information on the right here, again, for each particular. If you want to disable, if you just want the moon information in, you've got the moon rises in that from that direction, because there might be a landscape, a point of interest over here, and you're standing here. You might want to take a photograph of the moon rising over it. At what point will it get there? So you can move the timeline along here, and it will actually move where the moon's going to set, for example. If you want to know when the moon's rising, then you would go to the planner on the moon section, and we put the sun back on. Sun and the moon, all of those on there. Okay, so if you wanted a particular date, for example, you might want to say want to have May the 6th, and that will give me the information for May the 6th from that particular location. Okay, so clearly you can see that the sun is now rising in a different position, setting in a different position. The moon will be rising in a different position and setting in a different position, and of course all that varies. And some other functions on here, star trails. If you just move this, if you want star trails that are very minimal, it'll give you a rough idea what the exposure needs to be, and you can roughly calculate. If you want that kind of effect for your star trails, then it's telling you that clearly if the stars to move across the evening sky, night sky, you need exposure that's well in excess of 7 hours. And there's lots of other information there about meteor showers and so on. Time-lapse photography, if you want to do time-lapse. You've got timers in there. You've got basic settings. It tells you what settings to put your camera on. So this is an all-round tool, not just to help you plan astrophotography shoots, but also do other creative photography shoots like time-lapse or star trails, working out focal length information, subject distance, and just a basic timer as well if you want to, like a stopwatch, which of course most people have got that on the phone anyway. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of PhotoPills.